if we're going to talk about always Knicks, everything Knicks, once a Knick, always a Knick, then I think we have to go to another player that had a very good career here with the Knicks and also a lot of success with Julius Randle. That was a perfect segue because when he was on the Knicks, he was touted of being as one of Julius Randle's best friends. And he can shoot the three ball pretty well as well, too. And you know who I'm talking about here? Reggie Bullock. According to reports, and this is coming from SportsIllustrated.com, they state the New York Knicks have some space open on the roster, and it remains to be seen what direction they will go with. An option that hasn't been explored yet. So I want to make that clear. This is an option that nobody is stating. Nobody's saying the Knicks are going after Reggie Bullock. Nobody's saying that Reggie Bullock is interested in coming back to the Knicks. This is something from Sports Illustrated, just noticing that Reggie Bullock is available, and the fact that Reggie is available and the Knicks have the cap space to get him if they wanted to. He's just wondering why they haven't done so. And because of that, he's saying the Knicks should go after him because clearly he has experience with this team. But let's see exactly what he's saying about Bullock and why he wants the Knicks to get him. So according to Sports Illustrated, they state, even though the option hasn't been explored yet about Reggie Bullock, he did play with the Knicks with the team from 2019 to 2021. Just 2 years removed from being a starter for a contender, Bullock could help in a pinch. He doesn't need to be that player, but his veteran experience and familiarity with Tom Thibodeau make him a potential candidate to sign. So as you can see here, Sports Illustrated wants the Knicks in some aspect to sign Reggie Bullock if they're able to once the season's about to start. And the reason they want him to do that is because he has experience with the Knicks. He understands Tom Thibodeau, how Thibs plays, his role. He obviously has a relationship with one of our best players on the Knicks in terms of Julius Randle. His skill set does fit here. He gives you a little bit of size. But again, would he have a role on this team given the current roster that we have? Maybe if relationships dictated role, maybe he would have a spot. But if it's all about your play, experience with this team, and also best player available at that position, I don't think Bullock is going to be playing on this team, even if he was added to this roster. And that's just my opinion on it based on the team that the Knicks have right now. I don't know if anybody's told you or if we're noticing here, but the Knicks are stacked right now. The Knicks are one of the best teams in the league at this point in time. And I think a lot of people don't even understand that. They are still thinking that the Knicks still need to add a couple of more pieces if they're going to be that legit championship team. Let me make something very clear to you guys. The Knicks right now, as I'm speaking to you, are a legit contender for the NBA Finals. They are, with the roster that we have in place. If we continue to make the right moves, we lock ourselves into the NBA Finals. That's what we have to understand here. That's the main perspective. If the Knicks were adding Reggie Bullock, it would be an addition to this team that would help us in the future because we know Bullock, we know his skill set, and we know what he can bring to this organization, how he can help this team, what he means to this team when he's on it. He's not going to be another type of player that we saw him be with the old school Knicks. He's not going to be that player anymore. He's going to have a different role, a bench role, a limited role. But that role might help the Knicks. I'm not going to advocate for the Knicks to go out and get him. But if they went after somebody that has experience playing under Tom Thibodeau, I would understand why they were making that move. Because it's likely they are going to make a trade at some point down the road. And when they do that, they're going to need assets to do that. And if they trade away a player that everybody likes, they're going to need to fill that role. And what better way to do that than a player you already have on your roster waiting in the wings? That might be a reason that the Knicks look at Bullock and actually sign him to a contract for this Knicks roster. That's the only reason I would see them doing it, because they would have a plan in place somewhere down the line to make another trade, and that way they can improve this roster. But other than that, does it make sense for the Knicks to go after Bullock at this point in time? In my opinion, it does not. Bullock does not help this team right now. His skill set is not needed. We already have what he can do in spades off the bench already and in spades in the starting unit already. And we know that. And we know Tom Thibodeau is going to be very frugal with the minutes he gives out to the certain players we have on the roster. Then why is he going to sign Reggie Bullock, a player that he likes, that he's not going to be able to play consistently? We did that with Alec Burks, right? How did that work out for Burks? Did it look good for Burks? Because when he started and he came here, yeah, he played a few games, but it didn't work. It didn't look good. And Thibs found out really quickly that even though he had experience with this guy, it's about chemistry, what works and what fits. And eventually, we saw what worked and fit. Miles McBride, not Alec Burks. And if Reggie Bullock came here, it would be the exact same thing. We would have the same realization happen. So I hope the Knicks don't make this move. They don't have to make this move. There are other things they could do, but I would understand it if they did, because for me, that would signal and indicate that they're likely going to make a trade somewhere down the line. But that's the only thing I can see here in regards to this report. But again, the Knicks don't really have interest in this. This is just Sports Illustrated circling the block here and saying, well, you know what? Reggie Bullock is available. The Knicks have money available, and he used to be a Knick. So why not just put those two things together? I know it's easy to do that and sometimes a little lazy to do that, but don't do that. We don't need to continue to do that just because he's a Knick. He's not a Knick right now, and honestly, doesn't really need to be. I want to go to one other topic. When I read this story, it did touch my heart just a little bit because I guess that little moniker of once a Knick, always a Knick, I guess it rings true to me, at least someplace in my heart. You might know the player I'm talking about here, former Knick Langston Galloway. You saw him on the Team USA Select team. Happy, excited, happy to play basketball again. You might be wondering, though, where was he? Where was he at? Why is he not in the NBA any longer? Well, he was overseas for a period of time, but now, according to reports, Langston Galloway is ready to make his NBA return. As you can see here, Langston Galloway hopes for another NBA shot. Galloway spoke with Anscape's Mark J. Spears and about his experience about practicing with Team USA. They spoke how awesome it was about playing with the collection of talent, meeting Vice President Camilla Harris, and his shoe line called Ethnics the Brand. Spears also talked if Team USA experience can help him get back in the NBA. And according to Galloway, that's definitely the goal. So there you have it right there. If you're wondering if his goal is to come back to the NBA, do something else, play overseas, now you know. His goal, maybe forever, has been to come back to the NBA. If I can get an opportunity from any team to lace them back up in the NBA, that's the goal. I have a few European offers on the table. I'm just waiting for a couple of things to unfold with the EuroLeague, Euro Cup situation team-wise, and then my team as well that I played for this past year. Obviously, they've offered me, but I'm just waiting for a couple of other teams, EuroLeague, to unfold. Then I can make a decision and see what is next. So it's clear, for Langston Galloway, he wants to join an NBA team. And even though he's waiting for other teams in the EuroLeague to get back to him and give him other offers, I'm sure he's waiting for some NBA team to watch him and also give him an offer as well, too, because he wants to return. And I think if an NBA offer is on the table and all those EuroLeague offers are on the table, he would say bye to those EuroLeague offers and want to play in the NBA because that's the goal, that's his dream, that's what he wants to do. And how can you hate on a man trying to come back and live out his dream, live out his goal, wanting to be in the NBA again, no matter what team it was for? And maybe have a small piece of love in my heart for Langston because I remember him on the Knicks. I remember how good he was, how tough-nosed of a defender he was. I liked him. I liked his energy. I liked his hustle. So a part of me wants to see him get that comeback story, make a little bit of history, come back to the NBA, and hopefully have a very good career. It hasn't happened like that before. Think about it. How many players started in the NBA, left to the EuroLeague, came back, and had a phenomenal career? Doesn't really happen. But for Galloway, I'll be crossing my fingers because I hope it happens for him. I like Langston. I think he's a very good player when he wants to be. And hopefully another team will see that as well, too, and give him a chance. But all the best wishes in the world to Galloway, man. One of my favorite Knicks when he was on the team. Loved to see him before. And hopefully he can continue to play and live out his dream. If you enjoyed these clips from the live show, be sure to subscribe to the channel and have notifications turned on so you don't miss any new episodes or when we go live. Thanks for watching, Knick fans, and until next time, peace.